Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on? What up, what up, what up? All you happy hashers out there, what's up? So you guys are sliding on in. Don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. All the good stuff that the YouTube overlords require. Yo, what's going on? So you guys are all sliding in. What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up, Sheen? What up, Jason the Tiger Osborne? What's going on, guys? Jason coming in hot and heavy with those F's because he's rated F for freaking awesome. I'm saying. Just saying. So let's go ahead and dive into today's topics of things. Yo, we're gonna break this out with the old school stuff. Going right into hardware content here. There's a lot of stuff because of CES. Got a lot of stuff to go over, guys. Really cool stuff. So let's go ahead, dive on in. Bam. So we've got from video cards here. It's purely economic reasons why not to launch the X3D chip with the dual X3D CCD package on there. So that does not look like they are going to be doing it with this. I mean, you're getting a lot of performance on the 9000 series already. So I'm not really sure if it's really necessary to push these particular chips. It looks like if you're needing to boost the chip up a little bit, and you get a little extra thermal headroom, probably makes sense with it. But for whatever reason, they're not choosing to do it on these ones. So during one of the key announcements at the CES, during AMD's 45-minute keynote, was the Ryzen 9000 X3D series, dubbed the best 16-core gaming CPU with the Ryzen 9950 X3D. Now, this is with the CCD, so it's just with the CDC packages. So AMD has equipped only one CCD with the 3D V-Cache, just announced in previous generations, and it is now explained why. According to Hardware Lux, AMD confirmed that the dual CCD configuration with the 3D V-Cache is simply not an economical viable decision. More importantly, AMD stated that such a configuration would not benefit gamers enough to justify the significant price hike required to produce such a chip. So for price-wise, because AMD is not going to produce something and just eat the cost on that. That's not how you do business. And I wouldn't expect them, if it's a feature-rich option that would benefit gamers, maybe there might be benefit with that if you are doing heavy compute loads or even mining Monero, right? But right now they're just saying that it's just with the CCD package on there. It just does not make any sense on these, which I'm not, you know what, I'm not going to cry about it. It seems like whenever AMD is dropping out with their newer chips, whenever they try to push the chip just a little further, they start having heat temperature problems because you're trying to push performance on a small die. So I would rather not waste the heat load on there, be able to put a normal cooler onto this thing and get all the performance that a normal user of these particular chipsets are going to be looking for. Anything in the 9000 series, you're already getting good performance. And like they're saying, it's not really giving you huge performance bumps over things. So, I mean, even when you're comparing the Ryzen 9000, against itself, the 9950X versus the 9950X 3D, you're not really going to be, like, you're looking at the same wattage on there. Your V-Cache is a little better on the X3D chip on there. Your max clock is the same. You get the same cores on there. So you're just talking about a small performance bump. For a 9950X non-3D, you're looking at a $600 chipset. you're guaranteed that that thing's going to be, if I had to take a guess, it'd probably be about 650-ish, 649.99, probably where they're going to land that bad boy. I might as well just call it 650, right? So I don't think it's going to warrant, like, even on an X3D chip set, is it going to warrant that extra, $50 for that performance? I haven't seen enough reason to make the jump. Now, if one was on sale, like an X3D was at the same price as the non-X3D, sure, I'd make the polar plunge at that point. Get the better chip if it's at the same price. But if for a $50 point, I'd rather save that money, put it in my electric bill. Mind me of some more of that Bizity Bitcoin. So that'd be where my thoughts would be on it. Now, it's like I'm an AMD person, so I mean I don't like their GPUs. They're all right. But when it comes down to their CPUs, I mean I run Threadripper, as you guys know. So it's like I'll sit there and be the first one to go, yeah, not all the time you need to get the top tier chip. It's not 100% necessary unless you're just going, you know what, I'll pay for it because I got the extra $50 and I just want to have the best of the best. More power to you. But you're not looking at it from the same viewpoint from the mining standpoint, which is what's the best bang for my dollar. And if you're wanting to get one of these newer chipsets so that you can be as the most competitive as a home Monero miner, it's like I'd probably be looking at the 9900X myself, slide in at that 470 mark on there, and just call it a day. You're getting 12 cores. You're still getting, a good maximum boost clock on there. Your L2 and L3 cache are still pretty decent, and you're at a more of a milder 120 watt worth of power on there, which means that a standard air cooler will work on this all day long, even when it's in a hotter environment. You've got more thermal headroom versus trying to run a 9950X at 170 watts. You might want to sit there and maybe put an AIO on there, which that also bumps up your initial cost. You now go from $159 to, whatever your AIO is, 150 extra to $200 extra to be able to cool this bad boy, right? So kind of when you're putting together mining specific rigs, I always kind of look at it because, like, all these rigs, you can sit there and max these boards out. Like, you might have, let's say, one slot, right? One PCIe slot. Well, you can get a U-bit 8-way splitter on there and slot in 8 cards still on that one rig. One mini ATI export. So you're not limited just because it's got one port that you can plug a GPU into. Doesn't mean that it not be used for mining still. You could put, if you got two ports on there, put a GPU, and then what they some kind of extra card on there, like a capture card of some sort. You can sit there and slot those out with a U-bit 4-way splitter on there and still have 8 cards all running on a small form factor board. So you can run these boards pretty damn good, and not have to be able to buy the top tier stuff. This way you're saving budget. That I think should be like some of our theme for this year, especially with mining being so competitive, pricing being so down on mining overall. It's like, we could sit there and pull up mining overall and sit there and, look at the actual numbers. And when you're looking at the numbers, here they are. A 4090 right now is making 54 cents. A 4090 making 54 cents. Let's see here. A 3070, no, that's a laptop. A 30, 3080 Ti. So this is what I got in my computer. A 3080 Ti would make me 15 cents a day. So mining's down, competition's way up. There are a lot of people still in the networks, which, you know, it's like, I'm not going to discourage everybody, turn your shit off. Come on, everybody, make me profitable. No, it's just more or less that we got to make sure that we're grabbing the most effective hardware, you know, whether it be motherboard, CPU, or GPUs, guys. And to run some of these newer cards, you know, and that kind of comes into, I mean, if you guys were watched the CES show going off at all with all these keynote speeches, I was disappointed that that NVIDIA, you know, that they, you know, we didn't have a speech done in a kitchen and there wasn't a leather jacket involved. I'm a little bit disappointed in that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm disappointed. He was on stage and he had this shiny, glossy, like weird jacket. I don't know if it was leather or not, but it was sure shiny. But he debuted the 5090, and he's like, "This one's heavy," but it has some actually cool features on there. And NVIDIA announces the 5090 for $2,000. So the concept that the AIB partners are going to be right around anywhere from that $2,000 marker, which none of them are going to be there. We're probably looking at about a $2,200 to probably a $2,800 5090. If we get any that are for extreme overclocking, expect those to be over $3,000 now. You know, I would not put that past any of these at this point to not be at that $3,000 marker. So we have NVIDIA that's planning on starting off their 5070s. So the 70 class is going to be starting off at the 549, and the only ones that are going to get sold at 549 are going to be Founders Editions. I would factor in that your AIBs are going to be anywhere from about 600 to about 800 for your AIB partners. So be warned about that. They are also going to be utilizing that high voltage power connector that they've been having all these infamous problems over. Hopefully this round, you know, take 3, can they get it right? It seemed like with the first implementation of it, it wasn't so bad because they weren't flowing so much juice through it. Last generation, they had issues because it was flowing too much juice through it. Let's see if they can do this right now. I'm sure they'll get it this time, you know. So, I mean, that's my only gripe on it, is that I hope that they get the connectors better. But the overall GPU, actually a kind of a cool design setup. The PCB layout on it is really small. So I don't know if I can get a close up on this. I don't think I have anything here that actually shows the board. Yeah, they're not like showing the board itself. Yeah. But the board on the GPU fits in between the fans. It's not really a long card. So they've really consolidated everything onto a smaller PCB. The 5090 Founders Edition is going to be a two DIN slot thing that has complete pass-through fans. So pass-through fans, guys, both of them. Now it looks like they're probably have a little bit getting directed out the rear of the I/O. But I'm going to be expecting that when Jensen Young held it up into the air, you can see clean through the radiator, through the fans. So that tells me that both fans are pass-through. So with that being stated, putting these into server cases, might be problematic if they don't have enough airflow going through them things. The saving grace is that these are not going to be chunky cards. So we're going to have thin cards that, and that's wild to me, that a 500, 5 to 600 watt TDP is going to be on a double DIN slot. I would be curious on, like NVIDIA, please hear me. Let me test this card. Just like a week. Just let me test this thing. Oh my God. I'd love to put this thing through like some paces here. Get this thing mining. See what it actually. What I mean, they'll never care about me because I'm a mining channel. But I mean, good God, it'd be awesome to have. Put this thing into an actual mining onto it. Give it like the best airflow conditions under a full load setup on here. What this thing can actually benchmark at, and then seeing how it performs in a small form factor case. That would be really interesting to me. That is what I would love to test out, because like I do have some small form factor cases that I can build. I don't have like not a case itself, but I have some form factor gear that I could put together and actually put, or just order up a cheap case that's got some relatively good airflow and see how this thing would ever perform in there. But I like at $2,000, I ain't got that laying around. So I would have to be like a hope and a prayer that something like that were to be gifted to me from the gods of NVIDIA. Just for a week. Come on, NVIDIA. Come on. I know you're listening. Why does it sound like I'm talking through a windmill? I have no idea. Let's see here. Sounds fine to you? Okay, Chuck. I got one person says it's fine. I mean, can I get an audio check? Does my audio sound crispy, or does it sound like funky? I want to make sure everybody sounds good. Cause like I somewhat tested it before I went live. Cause like I've troubleshooted a couple of things on my computer that were kind of messed up. One was an HDMI cable that was broken. Sounds a little funny at times. Well, I can't help that. That might require me to reboot my computer at this point. Because I messed around with a couple of settings. So my computer probably needs to get rebooted at this point. But yeah. I'm gonna roll with it. It's as good as it's gonna get right now. I'm just saying. I did an overclock on the GPU to try to kick some more performance, and I probably need to reboot it so that the overclocking takes a little bit better. Because this is an LH, the 3080 Ti. These were LHR cards, so they are funky at best to work with. All right. and I'm also going to put this out there, guys. So if you notice that I've got like a little goal set up here, I'm going to do this goal thing. You guys want like free hash rate? There's a little goal for it. And I will give out free hash rate. We hit the goal settings. I'm just saying. Anytime you guys want to do like get some free hash rate, definitely do it. I'm gonna anytime that I'm doing crypto live, not my morning workouts, because I'm not focusing in on doing this, but any of my crypto content, I'll put down a little goal for 24 hours worth of free hash. So if you guys are wanting to win some free hash, definitely check out the goals. Just saying. Today's goal is on my 3090 Kingpin rig, guys. It's like a little mixed rig. It's got 3 Kingpins on there, a non-Kingpin 3090 on there, a 3080, and a 6600 X, the 6800 XT. Hooey, words. Ah. So, yep. If you guys are ever interested in that, just check out the goals. Just saying. Otherwise, we'll always do a free hash Friday. That'll happen. That'll happen regardless. I'm just saying that will definitely happen. But back on the topics here. Now that I'm done being derailed. Back on topic. All right. So, bam. And the way that they're looking at it is that the 5070 should be giving you a 4090 class performance for roughly about 550. So, like I was saying, figure about 6 to like 800 on your AIB partners, depending on what tier they're at. Myself, I mean, I've always kind of rattled into the 80 class. 80 class seems to be your best of all the worlds, because like your 90 class is your Titan class. They just because the Nvidia rebranded it to be into the gaming GPU family, because it can be used for gaming. So I mean, it's not like it can't handle it. And with VR, absolutely, VR will benefit greatly with the benefited boost of everything that the Titan class has to offer. But for everybody else, I mean, for the longest time, the 80 class is where your top tier gamers really stopped at. Myself, I always kind of nestled right into either the 50 class or the 70 class. Myself as a gamer. So I mean, that was just standard procedure. It doesn't look like they're giving a 50 class on this one. So, your 50 class is going to be your 70 class, and then your TI. Being that they're on the TI, the 5070 Ti and the 5080 are on the same chipset. They're on the GB203. The 5070 is on a GB205. A totally smaller die set. So you can already tell that between your 5080 and your 5070 Ti, you're really kind of just in that sweet spot. So think of the 5070 Ti as a 5080 that failed in some of its performance. So they had to turn off some feature sets on it to get the temperature back into spec. So a lot of these foundries are zero waste chipsets. So that's why sometimes you'll see two chips, two different product lines carrying the same architecture chip on there. That's why. So this 5070 non-TI is on its own architecture. So you're going to see more of a different. You'll see a greater difference between the 70 and TI than you will between the TI and the 80 class. So from that perspective, I would be looking at whichever one was more value bargain to me, because like your shaders, your 2000 shaders difference on there, your 40, 50 tensor cores off from each other. We as miners, we don't care about the ray tracing garbage. Your boost clocks, small difference, very small difference on your boost clocks between the 80 class and the TI variation. Now you're seeing that in the non-TI 70 class that the boost clock actually hits a little harder, but you look down at the VRAM bus width, right? And the VRAM bus width is 192 versus a 256. So we have faster memory. Faster memory usually does not require higher frequencies. If I've got slower memory, I can usually ramp up the core, the VGA core, further than I would otherwise. So take that with a grain of salt. That, oh look, I can, number is bigger, number would be better. Not necessarily, because the VRAM is actually faster. I know, right, Sadie. The VRAM looks interesting. So the TI looks very, very interesting. Your VRAM speeds between the TI and the 80 class, you're talking 28 versus 30 gigabytes per second difference. Nominal. You're still looking at between the 80 class and the TI, 16 gigabytes of RAM versus the 70 class getting 12 gigabytes of RAM. So you see that between the TI and the 80 class, you're seeing more of a value bargain going in between those two. Yeah, sure, you look at the 5090 class, but are you telling me that the 5090 is giving me double the price value back as a consumer, right? You know, am I actually getting that enough performance back? Sure, my GPU shaders, I'm getting double the shaders. I'm getting about double the SMSs, right? VRAM speeds about the same. I'm getting more VRAM. I'm getting 32 gigabytes. Cool. I'm also getting faster VRAM bus widths. So my VRAM is going to be faster. Why? Because I've got more of it. I need it to go a little faster to get it to communicate with the core, the VGA core quicker, to be able to pass all that compute through. Texture mapping, you're getting, texture mapping in units, you're getting double on the 5090, but between the 80 class and the TI class, you're starting to really close in on which one's a value bargain. And to me, like Sadie, the TI looks like it really comes in as the bargain winner, where you're not losing out on a bunch of performance, but you're really not leaving too much off the table either. You know what I'm saying? And you're not paying the premium. I would say the 80 class would be your premium. Your TI class would be everybody else. And they're all going to be having these pass-through coolers on there. So we're, like the open air chassis, we're going to have to start looking at good airflow through these open air chassis. So we're going to be looking at, if you guys haven't done so already, we might be having to put these newer GPUs onto these open air Veta frames with Noctua fans to keep the air from being sucked into the next GPU. This way, the last card, it'd be an interesting, I'm just saying, that would be a really interesting test. Not enough open air Veta frames that if I get 8 of, let's say, the TI classes, if I can get 8 of those, I could put it into an open air Veta frame and see if the last card actually gets hotter. Would the pass-through actually affect it? And at which card number would it actually start affecting the hash rate? What up, Tom? What up? It's like I was looking at the 80, but not sure if it's worth it compared to the 5070 Ti. Exactly. Especially when they're sitting on the same die set. It's the GB203. Same architecture. The 5090 is the GB202, and the 70 class is the GB205. So, between the two, it's like I would almost say, if you're talking, within pennies of each, within 50 to $100 to each other, that's a hard toss up. It depends on, do you want to make a whole TI rig or do you want to make a whole 80 class rig? But you got to know that, it's like, let's say you're picking up Founders Editions. Let's say you're picking it up, an 80 class Founders Edition, $1,000. $1,000 plus tax, So you're walking out the door probably about, $1,050, $1,075 out the door, taxes and everything, depending on where you're at. Versus trying to pick up a Founders Edition on the TI. It's like games haven't came far enough to demand the capabilities of the 5000 series. Do you really need more than a 3080 Ti to play Rust or Call of Duty? 100%, Chuck. Oh my God. The only thing that I can sit there and say is that there are a bunch of games that are pushing out the pixels for 8K. So none of the GPUs really have been able to push quality 8K. We're starting to tickle on that 4K quality, but we need to ramp up the frame rate on for 4K. I think we are starting. We are at that point where 2K with the modern GPU, like a 30 class, a 2K. Oh my God, 30 class, 40 class, and it amazing for 2K. 4K, they're still kind of cheating it out. They still haven't figured out how to push it with frame rate. That's why they need to put all that AI stuff into the background of it all to be able to, how can I put it, like kind of do like an order of operation of, okay, we don't need to re-render it. We're looking at the same damn object. The only thing that moved was your focal point just a little bit. It's the same. Everything else hasn't moved. So, they're just cutting down on what they're going to reuse and not re-render. Cool. They've been doing, cheats like that for decades for the GPUs. It's how they've been able to get the graphics to go as far as they have. But as far as pushing the pixel density and being able to utilize a true 8K monitor, I think we're far off from that. Do I think that games are also utilizing it properly? No, because like there's things that I've been able to turn on HDR, and all that gets affected in the HDR is my black. I get better blackout. So and like that's a whole different thing of how the monitor's set up versus the GPU. The GPU is just making a true blackout and forcing the monitor to do its job. Because like my monitor is 2K HDR, all the glitz and glamour, and I could push it, but unfortunately trying to streaming through OBS is not like that. It like blows out all the color saturations out on you guys, so I can't use it. So it's unfortunate. I can't give you guys the HDR experience. Like if there is a way to do it, I'm not sure if I have to have a separate computer that I'm pushing everything through, and it picks it up that way, and that's the way to be able to show it off. But yeah, I don't have that set up. But yeah, I mean, I have a 3080 Ti that's water blocked. I haven't found anything that I couldn't max all the video out on something and had any kind of quality loss on my end. Now, streaming wise, when I'm doing that, yeah, I'll turn it down because it starts to heat up my system. Because like it's like, oh, give me all the watts. So I tend to not do that because of that one purpose. You know, it's like I just don't want to overheat anything, which is fine, right? So yeah, I mean, I totally agree, Chuck. You know, it's like we like for gaming wise, the majority people have 1080p monitors. It's a very small subsect of people that have 8K monitors, or even 4K monitors. Like I said, myself, I've got a 2K monitor with two 1080p monitors. So it's not like I'm any better. Like I can sit there and switch back to 1080p and have triple monitors that were all the same resolution and actually be able to push surround, you know, have wraparound vision with my gaming. But because I got two oddball monitors, of course I can't sit there and do, you know, push out and have ultra wide screen through 3 screens and stuff because I got 2 different resolutions. It really looks funky. It's like 2060 is my personal gamer right now. You know what? That's and like you go on like Steam and like their like more popular hardware. It's like, yeah, you're now into the 30 class now with some of the more popular hardware, but still to this day, a 1060 Ti still ranking up there pretty hard. So it's like most people are rocking out a 1080p monitor. If a GPU cannot rock out 1080p, it sucks at life. I'm just saying. It absolutely sucks at life. And you know, talking about GPUs here, let's get back at it. Some more GPU action here. So AMD explains the missing RDNA 4 GPUs in its CES 2025 live stream. So while they did all their stuff on their chipsets and everybody was AI, and I was like, and what about IO? But yeah, no. It's like they're all focused in on all the AI stuff and what that's going to be bringing in for the future, which, you know, from the data center side of things, that's where their big money is at. So I totally get it. But some of the news that was hotly anticipated with the RDNA 4 was absent from the press conference. So they wanted to be clear on air why it was not part of it, what the product plans are, and what was to expect throughout the quarter as we get a little closer to launching the product from the RDNA 4 family of graphic products. So they basically had like gone through and, you know, where is it here? You would think I would have highlighted this one out. I mean, I went through and I read this up, but so so just to set the record straight, they began with the lack of the RDNA 4 in the press conference has nothing to do with the product development or anything of that. The chips are in lab. They are performing well. It's hitting all the targets in terms of performance and power. You'll see many of the board partners showing off their designs, so they'll be able to. So they'll all be out there talking about their products that they'll have coming from the RDNA 4, coming from the product family during CES. Explained that the keynotes was only 45 minutes long, and that with a slew of other products to announce, the company just simply did not dedicate enough time to the presentation to the new GPUs or the frame of the product. Ultimately, they would have only about 5 minutes to introduce the new GPU. Graphics products and the graphics card are complicated, and has to be a lot to be explained to really do it justice. So it looks like they were letting the AIB partners talk about it. They weren't under any kind of embargo that prevented them from talking about certain aspects of it. I mean, they're going to keep a lot of it under hush because, like, I don't know if you guys understand how AIB partners, they get specs of, okay, if you get these chips, which are the binned ones, they're going to perform like this. These are its power requirements. These are the non-bin ones. These are these power requirements. And the AIB partners start making boards off of that. So they don't really fully know everything on the chipset until they get them, which is not that long before they hit the market with them. So they don't have much time once they get their hands on the chipset to make enough to bring everybody to market with them. Some of the reasons why GPUs tend to be a little bit higher in price if they've had a smaller window to getting them launched out. That, supply and demand, it will cause the GPU prices to be higher, and they, for that short the short term, it'll be higher, and then over time it starts to level off as demand drops down, and they're able to actually get a full supply as they get more chips in, they get more boards together, they get more testing, and that's why sometimes you get some issues with some of the early boards because they rush those nodes to especially if you got day one put together stuff. Expect that you could have an issue. It's a process. You're talking about depending on how these AIB partners are putting, if they do the big revamp like NVIDIA did, you're going to see, tooling issues here and there. They're going to try to do as much, vetting out of any issues as they can. But anytime you got something new going out, you're going to have issues. And I know with NVIDIA, they're going to be having new stuff coming out. I don't know with how NVIDIA does their small little boards now to get their pass-through radius. If AMD, if they're going to be sitting there doing some of the same layouts, trying to condense their boards down, because the thing is that if you can get your board small, you're wasting less material. You're not having to flow as many amps. You don't have so much resistance in the card internally. So you're able to wick out the heat more effectively. You're utilizing the power more effectively in the long term too. So there's trade-offs in everything too. So it just and I know AMD is not going to be going to the high voltage power connector. They are resisting that one because NVIDIA has had so much issues with it. I think AMD is going to go, you know what? We'll let you work all the bugs out of it, and then we'll just buy it. If we really need to use it, we'll just contract it off of you. I think that'd be the easier way of doing it than trying to research and develop it yourself too. But these high voltage connectors, they've been using in data centers for a hot minute. So this is not a new connector that NVIDIA is like trying to get going. They're just trying to make something work better. So it's like, hi, I'm AI and I'm here to party. Yeah, exactly, Sadie. Exactly. So I think for AMD side, they're going to let their AIB partners kind of take the reins on this one, which is fine. If they think that 5 minutes was not do it justice, and that their AIB partners that are going to dedicate more time to actually going over everything, I'd probably let them do it too. That's what the AIB partners are for. Is that you're not trying to compete with them. They're your partners. They can get the word out too. Not everybody needs to be like NVIDIA and compete directly with the AIB partners and produce a GPU that the AIB partners can't compete price-wise with. That's NVIDIA for you. But that's different, right? And then of course, with that we do have a little bit of outleaks on that stuff. So we got Asus graphics cards. Appears that the pre-orders for the next generation GPU may begin in 2 weeks for the 9070, which I think that in itself is a big middle finger to Nvidia. I approve this one. This is funny as all get out. But so the Asus Radeon 90 RX 9070 Prime graphics cards pre-orders start at 9 a.m. on the 23rd. So coming up here, guys. Now I'm not. I'm not gonna hold my breath to say that if this is just an accident, somebody leaked this out and they just haven't updated an official timeline behind it. And so don't be like this is gospel, guys. This is just a potential that we could be seeing it scheduled for the end of this month, maybe the end of next month. I would say sooner than later. For having new GPUs coming out. If NVIDIA is launching, AMD has got to have something that's going to pick up the market that NVIDIA decides that they don't need anymore. And I think that'd be a smart thing to not be trying to compete with NVIDIA with their stuff and just make a quality card that the drivers work on day one AMD. Just saying. So, graphic card launches and embargoes January 16th. The Intel B570, the Radeon RX 970 pre-orders. The 30th, the 5090 and the 80 class launch. February, we get the 70 Ti and the 70 launch. And then in March, we're going to get the 50 class laptop GPU launches. So very interesting stuff that'll be coming out here. We got a lot of good hardware. I'm looking forward to the efficiencies for mining on this stuff. And what's kind of funny is that CES, that was not GPUs, computer stuff, wasn't the only stuff that was coming to the party, guys. Yeah, we had Canon there, guys. Yo, Canon, the ASIC manufacturer for Bitcoin miners. Yeah, this Canon, the one that whenever I was at Mining Disrupt, yeah, that Canon, that one, that Canon. So hey, Canon guys over at Canon, please sponsor me. I'll wear the hat if you sponsor me. It's like you're not gonna sponsor this channel. I can't wear the hat. I'm sorry. The hat will just stay over there in my collection of hats. But I have to say, Canon did a launch at CES, which is damn cool. They even have to say it too. This is cool. It is. This is cool. This is the future. Ooh. Da da da. This is the Avalon Mini 3. Ha ha. It's like a miracle in the cold winter. The charm of blockchain. Man, they're still... I've been telling people you can heat your house with Bitcoin mining and GPU mining. I did it for years. I got a lot of mining gear that can heat up a house without any problems. No problems at all. So, the Avalon Miner, guys, this thing is actually going to be... I think it's pretty good. I'm like excited to actually see this bad boy here. It's like I don't know if we can, and it's starting off here at $899 for the Avalon Mini 3, and the Avalon Nano S3 is $249. So we got our home series being launched out. This is directly from Avalon Home. So they're looking at home solutions that people can be able to play around with. I would love to work with these guys. Grab one of these miners because like I've got ways to be able to vent this stuff out year round. So I'm set up to be able to play with this stuff. And the stronger, this one's like a nice little small form factor. Probably just take a couple of ASIC chips on there. Let's see here. Uh, so the Avalon Nano 3S is a portable small heater that generates Bitcoin. So you can put this anywhere and it generates heat because, as we all know, it's an ASIC miner. You use energy. For every watt you use, you create 3.42 BTUs of heat on the other end that you must get rid of. So because of that, depending on your wattage, so if we say that we've got a 500 watt miner here, right? That's 500 watt space heater. There's no difference between a space heater and an ASIC. They're kicking the same heat. So depending on your wattage, depends on how much of a room you can heat up. So this one would be your smaller one. So you'd be able to bring this around with you wherever you wanted to go, plug it in. It's probably, I would say it's probably wireless, or it has a wireless feature on here. The USB port supports Wi-Fi mounts and LAN access. So there you go. So we've got a dust filter on there to keep the fins nice and cleaned out on there. I like that stuff. It's got a little LED screen on there. I thought that was kind of cute. LED screen offers better display effects on there, which you can see the temperature, blah, blah, blah. It's a conversational piece at that point. But nonetheless, it's something that you can run and be able to plug into your wall. That's what I like about this. It's something that we can plug in. So if I can plug it in, you can bring this on the go. You got a Wi-Fi connection of some sort and be mining wherever you are. If you're in a hotel room, if you're in a fishing shack of some sort, anytime that you got a chance. What up, Tech Man? What up, my dude? What's going on? So yeah, we've got all of this awesome stuff that's come out there, but I'm telling you guys, what I'm more excited over that I would not mind getting my hands on is this Avalon Mini 3. And to me, Avalons and the What's miners, I've had, like, Avalons I know are like the battle tanks. Like, you can do whatever you want to a cannon, and they just, they're like a Timex watch, man. They take a licking and keep on ticking. And it's I find a lot of that same thing being with the What's miners too. The What's miner compared to Bitmain, I find that I prefer the What's miners over the Bitmains. But if I was comparing Avalon to What's miners, depends on my environment. So if my environment is going to be dusty as all get out, I'm probably going to go for a cannon. Where it's like cannon's going to be more of your rugged environment versus What's miners and Bitmain. They're a little prima donnas, but you're getting more hash rate at a more effective wattage use. So there's trade-offs on there. Cannon being a battle tank, they're not the top of the line energy efficiency. They get the job done. They're decent, and they're battle tanks. That's what I like about them. Like I like outside of that, yeah. Like I just look at them as another run-of-the-mill ASICs. But yeah, if you're in a dusty environment, you're in Arizona, you're in Nevada, any of those dustier areas, the cannon miners are going to be a decent fit for you. Now, if you're doing immersion mining, that's a totally different ball game. Once you go into immersion, you're not dealing with the dust in the same way. You're now, if you're in a dusty environment, you already know you already got to be like halfway sealed up with everything to keep dust out. You're filtering everything. You're changing filters out every so often so that you've got pump flow all the time. Yeah, it becomes a added expense as you're going into those areas, which is, to me, I like playing with it. But yeah, for like the average person, it just becomes okay. If we're gonna do it. It's easier to deploy air cooled. Much easier to just do air cooled and go. Okay, do I have a dusty environment? No. What's minor? If you got the electricity, um, but for at-home devices, this is actually interesting. I like this. Oh, sneezing like crazy. Oh my god. The flipping back and forth with the weather. Oh. It's like I need to make a new wallet and try to endpoint friend coin into Tangem. Man, I don't trust Tangem. I'm just saying. I don't trust a lot of third party wallets. I'm just gonna say that too. But that's just me. I'm crazy sadistic like that, and I've got core QT wallets and things on thumb drives encrypted. Yeah. I'm that guy. But to see these two options for home mining, for not a USB miner, not coming from Gold Shell, coming from a reputable company that's going to stand behind their warranties. This is why I like Canon. They're not like Gold Shell, which is going to try to charge you to ship out your warranty both ways. Yeah. There's a whole backstory on that one. We are at that 1 hour mark, guys. Pretty much I've gone over all my little articles. Outside of just showing profitability stuff on there, a 4090 making 54 cents on Aleo. NVIDIA CMP 170HX making 31 cents on KLS. Not bad. Killing it over there. A 7900 XT making 23 cents on Xano. My 3080 Ti making 15 cents on Aleo. Man. Let's see here. Old school. 3080. 8 cents on Xano. 8 cents. Woo! Killing it over there. Crushing it. Oop. Now you come in there and you'll see a poop coin Waglea. You can mine for 21 cents. When you click on it, there's only one mining pool, mining for people, and one exchange that I've never heard of. So there's not a lot of trading volume on there. You got little over $6,000 worth of trading volume on there. So you're not going to see a whole lot of movement. There's a lot of zeros in this price point. Yes, you're going to be able to mine. It's be early mining if it was worth it. You know, definitely looks like a meme coin in itself. Waglea. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would, trust it. It's looks like it's pretty damn brand spanky new. But you could safely mine Xano and have multiple exchanges that we all can trust, Trade Ogre, ZeggerX, but I use Trade Ogre myself. And then you've got Wooly Poly and Lucky Pool, which at least you've got some hash rate diversity there. That's how you can tell like you got a newer coin, is that you usually see it on a singular pool because it's just being launched out. So I tell people, be careful with that. You're either going to strike it out good, or not. You know, that's just kind of how it is. If it's your first time in this rodeo, welcome to the show. A 3090 making 9 cents on Xano. Yeah, imagine paying during pandemic levels. You know, you're paying $2,000 a GPU just for mining. Just for a few years later to just be making 9 cents a day with it after electricity. You're like, oh my God. Your revenue before power is 83 cents. So if you got free electricity, you get 83 cents. But if you're paying for electricity at about 9 cents per kilowatt hour, you're doing like about 9 cents a day on that, right? If we really kind of wrap this up like myself, I've got 11 cents per kilowatt hour. And now a 4090 makes 37 cents. Scrolling down here. A 3080 Ti makes 3 cents. A 6600 non-XT makes 1 cent. A 6800 non-XT makes 1 cent. A 1660 non-Ti makes a penny. After electricity. A Radeon 7, wow, man, Calor making a penny a day. So, I mean, things are, let's see here, an AMD RX 6400 breaking even on Calor. Where do we start losing money? At 3060, we start losing money. Start losing a penny a day on Ergo. 3050, losing 2 cents a day on Aleo. Arc A380, you can lose yourself 4 cents a day on Calor. The 3080 10 gigabyte, you can lose 4 cents a day on Ergo. I know this is like the first generation on the 3080. That's why it's down here so low. I mean, yeah. So I mean, like their profitability right now is not huge, not huge in the slightest bit, but it's interesting. It's interesting. But oh, he keeps on trying to call me at the weirdest times. It's like my 3080s are making about $280 a day on Fast. Nice. Like my 3090s are making over $40 a day on Fast. Nice, very nice. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of my stuff on, a lot of my big stuff on for a little while there, just because it's slow season for me. So like having the income coming in to pay for the electric bill on that stuff, I just haven't been, like, I just don't want to sell like crypto like that to pay the electric bill and incur all that taxable event. No, thank you. So I've left my stuff off for the last few days on, last few months on that because of that. So I've been giving away more hash rate for other people than I've been actually taking in myself. Like everybody needs to get ready for May. Nice. What's May? Is that the mining conference thing? Yeah, I thought it was the Vegas thing. That's what I was thinking. It was the the Bitcoin thing in Vegas. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that. I'm like, I said it, and as I was saying it, I'm like, I bet you it's the Vegas show. Like, tech man, I'm trying. Yeah, I'd go, but it's like it's expensive out there. It's like I'd hitch a ride with somebody. Like I can get down there, not a problem. But like I split a room with somebody, and yeah, that'd be the only way to be able to do it. Like I'd have to split a room with somebody, and then it's like yeah, like I don't even know if I've got the funds really to be. Like I said, business be slow right now. It's the winter time. It's like a bit of an off season for me. Yeah, that's right, Sadie. Hashtag not a baller. Yeah, exactly. Hashtag pleb. Rooms are free when you gamble like you. I have no money to gamble. It makes being broke makes you honest. Kitty, kitty. I know you want to jump up here. I see the look in your eyes. Yeah, right, Sadie. Hashtag not a baller. Hashtag one day. Right? Hashtag one day. Kitty, kitty. Oh, the kitty. Cats of crypto. Cats of crypto. The famous Camicam. Look up. Everybody wants to see you. It's the cute Camicami fish. What up, son of a rabbit? 22. 22. Son of a rabbit comes in with cat vision. It's like New York, kitty, kitty, kitty. Hell yeah. With that being said, man, smash that Lizzie like button for the cute kitty kitty. Hell yeah. And while you're doing that, drop some FAs in the Chizity chat. Cause you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. It's like, I'm a cat guy for sure. Alright, cats, chunkins, dog. I love all animals. Except ones that are trying to kill me. If it's that animal that's trying to kill me, then no, I don't love it anymore. Hell yeah, hell yeah. And just note, guys, that I will be putting into every one of my streams, guys, moving forward, because since there's 7 people sitting here watching right now, everybody, come on, get a little closer. It's just for you guys, so you guys know. I'm gonna sit there and make sure there's a goal for every live stream. Every live stream that I do that's crypto related, right? I'm gonna specify that being crypto related. So it's not gonna be my workout video in the morning, right? So if I'm working out, not those videos. I'm talking about crypto. We're gonna do a do a goal setting that if you guys do 10 donations, that I'll do a giveaway of free hash rate. Yo! So I'm going to have that on every crypto related live stream moving forward. So if that stuff interests you, definitely smash that Lizzie like button, because, like, yo, it's for you guys, you know. I like my rigs are off unless you win hash rates. So Tech man, I'm not supposed to know your seed phrase passwords, bro. It's like those animals are fair game. Like, Hash Vegas. We should do something like that. That would be kind of cool. It's like it's just a grocery list, right? Yeah, that would be kind of cool to do like a Hash Vegas of some sort. You know, get all the mining crypto. It'd be like it's like a homebrew mining YouTube channels only. Would be kind of cool. Would be cool, but yeah. So you guys want to like have a giveaway every stream? I'll have that in the goals section. So if you guys want to do that, it's up to you. Otherwise, we'll still do the free hash rate Friday stuff. So with that being said, guys, thank you everybody for being here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Peace out. Stay savage. May your watts be low and your hash be high. And I'll see you on the next one. Yo.